Florida.
What's up, y'all? This is John and Sequoia Howard of the Agape Music Group.
Yeah, and we rock with Marcus, Lady Dreamer, and the Culture for Christ segment on WOKB Radio Orlando.
Central Florida's only radio station for Christian hip hop and new gospel music.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
We live in a world where the culture is based off of three things: money, power, and respect. It's always about repping the people of our hood that can care less about you. We are a peculiar people, a royal priesthood. Yeah! That's the kind of hood I want to be a part of. Our form of culture is royalty, integrity, mentorship, and generational wealth. If we're not building that, what we doing? King do king thing. Doug, talk to him, look. Oh.
This is what the kings do. If you don't practice royalty, this don't concern you. You chasing the clout, so you stay in the drought. You playing foul like a ref, I'm calling you out. The rubber bands on the stack, don't count the amount. I just tied, I give it back, I'm laying it down. I stay in the trenches, with that's in the vision. Detoxing the victims, an incredible witness. I pledge allegiance to my Father, sovereign ruler of tomorrow and today. Keep your script if you acting foolish. Tell me if you really want it. This that marathon recipe, Snipsey Hustle. Forrest Whitaker, I feel like a butler. Open doors, clearing paths, I'm just doing chores. This for mine and yours. It's time to come aboard. How you handle pressure separates the men from the boys. I'm an outcast, organized noise. Man, do your research, I know your pride hurt. This here is God's work, this here is God's turf. Souls we cashing in. Tell them I'm God's clerk. I'm here to help tear down your idols, call truth to your rivals. Come out of Egypt, hit the nation, start making disciples. Too many dying all around me, no time to be idle. It's you by the truth and for what's right hand on the Bible. I silently swear to hold it down for our queens and minors. Our Jews in the streets for the youth, let's start a revival. So many caught up in the streets, collateral damage. I'm just here to bring you from the pit into the palace.
I'm trying to raise you up, young king. I'm trying to bring you up to another level. I'm trying to give you an opportunity of a lifetime. To go from the pit to the palace is going to require you to shift your mindset. You got to move mentally before you can move physically. You got to think different. You got to be different. You got to live different. So if different is what you're chasing, the question is, how bad do you want it?
I know that's right. If different is what you chasing, how bad do you want it? That's my first time understanding real attention to that last part. But how bad do you want it? Welcome to Culture for Christ. This is your lovely, the fabulous. I call myself that because I just believe that much in myself. You better believe in yourself. Lady Dreamer. And we got Sir Marcus, the famous one with 30,000 followers, and plus.
Oh my God. Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Culture for Christ on this beautiful Monday afternoon. We're excited to have y'all with us on today. We got a lot lined up for y'all today. We got an awesome show. Awesome show.
Yes, we
Lady
do.
Trina, how you doing?
I am making it, and let me be truthful. I am making it. These past couple weeks have been hard. I've been going through different stages of grief, and I just got hit with another great loss. Just lost who I call Mama. I call her Mama Sade Cross, who is the group that I manage in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Cross family, that's their mother. And in January, we just had a legacy concert where we celebrated their father who passed away over 5 years ago. And now to have her pass, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm going to just say that. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And I am to be in Miami this weekend for one of my other groups that I manage on 111. They're celebrating their first year singing anniversary. And I had already called prior to tell the family, hey, tell mom I'm coming to see her when I get in town Saturday.
Yeah.
And she passed on Saturday morning.
Wow.
And so that's hard, and it's still hard. And I'm praying for them as a family, because they were making it through their father. Now they have to make it through the matriarch of their family, which is their mother. And one thing about their mother, she was involved in everything with her kids and grandkids. And if you needed her, she was there. She even was one of my special guests at my birthday celebration.
Yeah, she was. She was there.
And y'all, she was there and she enjoyed herself. She was just so happy to be there. And so this has been extremely, extremely hard. But I know God doesn't make mistakes. And I know we cliche say that, but he doesn't. And the thing that I can say is that we're grateful that she's no longer suffering, because she had to undergo a lot of different things. And cancer absolutely sucks.
Yes, it does. Cancer is the devil.
It sucks.
It is truly the devil.
Yeah.
I hate cancer.
I hate cancer. Literally hate cancer. And so, and just when, and this was so crazy, doctors will tell you, oh, surgery went well. They're doing well. They're coming around. And then you get boom. Like, thought you just told me this. And so that's kind of where we all are, and how we're dealing with it is through Christ. We got to lean on our strength in God. And God is our strength. That's what I'll say. He is our strength. So.
He is. And I want to say, my prayers and condolences go out to her family for the loss of their mother, and the matriarch she is. Now they are without their parents. I do thank God that they did get opportunity to spend quality time with her in her life and everything.
Yeah.
The Bible says that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So even in these times, we have to have the joy of the Lord in our heart to be able to make it through the days ahead.
Exactly.
Because it's the days ahead, that those long days, like after the funeral is over and after everybody has gone home, and you have those moments when you are alone and those memories come flooding back in. The comfort in that is knowing that she lived a life well lived. And when we say rest in peace in Christendom, we don't say rest in peace just to be saying rest in peace like other people. We mean rest in peace, because if you didn't live a life worth nothing, there's no way
there's no way you're gonna rest in peace.
You're not resting.
Yeah.
So all these RIPs, and people lived hellacious lives and did and everything they wanted to. No.
Yeah.
But when your soul is resting because you lived a wonderful
life, a joyful life, a Christian life with God, life. And you exemplified that
in His eyesight, pleasing in His eyesight. Not to say that we don't make mistakes and we don't do things the wrong way, But when you know better, you do better. You're gonna make mistakes in this walk. You're gonna make mistakes in this walk, but you want to live a life that is pleasing unto God. Period.
Absolutely.
Period. Point. Nothing else. So I'm praying for you. I'm keeping you lifted up, because I know you've been hit with quite a few different,
my goodness. When I tell you, it has been since 2019 to now, I feel like I am in a whirlwind. In a whirlwind. And but God is good. I'm gonna say God is good.
Yes, He is. He is.
He's good. He's
Yes, he
good.
is. Yes,
He's
he
good.
is.
So listen, I want to shout out a couple
Please
of
do.
churches. Let's do
Please
some
do.
shout outs. Big shout out to Rise Up Baptist Church. Rise Up Baptist Church is at 4400 North Powers Drive, right there at the corner of North Lane. I want to shout out Pastor Ray. Pastor Ray is doing an amazing job over there with serving our community by giving food back to the community. And when I tell you the level of food that they're giving out, it's like going to the grocery store. Okay.
I'm gonna show them some pictures
to the grocery store.
I'm gonna
It
show
is
them
so
some pictures
amazing.
afterwards, Drina. I'm gonna show them.
Yeah,
the
you're
pictures
gonna have to show them the pictures. And we're so excited that the community is coming out for it. They had probably 70 plus cars that came from the community to get bags of grocery. And I'm talking about good grocery, bags of potatoes and all kinds of. I'm trying to look at the pictures and stuff
Good
now.
Stuff.
But
I'm gonna show them
amazing,
pictures before
y'all.
we
It is so amazing. They had cabbage, lettuce, onions, cucumbers.
All the good stuff.
I'm talking about good stuff. Bell peppers, oranges, and I'm looking
all
like
the good stuff.
Next Friday, I'm bringing my car so I can get some grocery because I got children that are eating everything out of my house, and I can't afford to go to the grocery store anymore either. So, hey, Pastor Ray, hook a sister up. I'm coming.
Tell about the other program.
Oh, yes. And so they're as well as doing the food and giving back to the community that way. Every Friday at 11 or 11:30 in that hour time, that's when they're starting. They're also being able to be a part of what we call our prison reentry program. Prison reentry program where
very important.
This is so important to our community. It's to be able to help those that are coming from being institutionalized or institutions and help them to get reacclimated with society in the right way. So that if you need help with job applications, if you need help finding a job, if you need help finding a place to live, if you need help getting clothing, food, whatever it is, you're transitioning from that place and you don't want to go back there, there's a safe place where you can go and get help if you want to change.
Absolutely.
And so I am super excited about that. And again, that's Rise Up Church, and they're serving our Pine Hills community right there in Pine Hills, in the heart of Pine Hills. And this is one thing that I want to say. So many times we say crime heals. Y'all listen to me. I curse that in the mighty name of Jesus. Words have power.
In his name.
Words have power. Stop calling your Pine Hills area crime hills. Because you're speaking that negativity over your neighborhood. You're speaking that over your community. Start speaking positive, uplifting, and things that you can feel God can change in your community. Start speaking those things over your community. No more of this.
And that's right.
Crime heal. Speak positive over your community.
I am sick of the media saying that as well, because the media is saying that. Even media in other states and other cities that are not even near Orange County or near Orlando, because even when they we're going to get into that later, something that we want to crime is not crime heals. It has that moniker.
It's the community.
Something. That's right.
Yep.
It is definitely the community, and that's not what we are about. That is not what we are about. Well, we do have another shout out. As a matter of fact, just go ahead and let's shout out and give Pastor Ray and Rise Up Church a round of applause, because they are doing a wonderful work.
Because they are doing a wonderful work. So when you ask what our church is doing in our community of Pine Hills, well, that's one that is serving our community and doing. And not only do they do that, they actually witness to the community. They're out there in their regular clothes. They're not trying to be more than this or more than that, but they're out there serving and speaking positive to them, praying for them if needed, helping them if needed. Oh my goodness, I just love it. I love it. So big ups to Pastor Ray over there at Rise Up Church. Again, if you guys know anyone that needs food, every Friday, that's a good place to go and get you something, get them something that is substance in two ways, by the word and by the food.
Amen. Now that's what's up. Now we got another shout out, and this is huge. This is huge. We here on Culture for Christ, Lady Drina and myself, we have to give a large shout out to Bishop Derek McRae and First Lady Taj McRae as well, and the entire ECC church family. Now they need cheers, whistles, and everything.
Listen, I gotta find
we gotta find the big.
We gotta find all of that. I'm gonna do the hand claps for now. That's what we're gonna get.
They just closed on property right there on Hiawassee, which was formerly the Agape Church. And they closed on that property.
Yes, they did. They closed on the property. Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna tell you, I had an opportunity. I was on my way to Sunday school yesterday, and I turned down Indian Hill Road. I was like, I'm gonna go. So I didn't have to go down Silver Star to try to fight that traffic. I was like, let me go this way since the light was green. I just rolled through. I turned down Indian Hill, and at the last minute, I decided to scoot on in to ECC and get a little early morning service before our church service started.
Yes.
And it was an amazing service. It was packed. They was ready to go. They started on time and they got out on time. And I had to
start on time. Big ups for a black church starting on time. I love
time.
Listen, that's what I love about Bishop McRae. He literally, if he says 6:03, 6:03, it is. Like they on stage at 6:00 and 03, they talking to you. You hear me? They talking to you.
Music going, everything. They're riding through. Yeah. Now let me say, they closed on the property, which was formerly the Agape Church. And the miracle in that is that it was a struggle to get it.
Yeah.
He made known in the service that they had that church property had almost $500,000 worth of liens on that.
Mighty God.
$500,000.
And I believe it because I know who had it and I know what happened. So
my God. My God. And God made a way to where all of that was cleared up for $2,500.
Come on, God.
We'll clear all this out for $2,500. $500,000 worth of liens, and they let it go for $2,500. They negotiated. They were going to tear the building down. And he went over there and stopped it from happening and told them, you can't tear this building down because I got a contract on it. So I mean, you don't have no contract. Yeah, call whoever you need to call the bank and put a stop. They say, hey, I'm out here with Bishop Derek McRae, and he's saying that they got a contract on the building, and the person ended up having to come back and halt all the work, had to send everybody home from trying to knock the building down.
Come on.
Congratulations. They are going to be doing some marvelous works.
Yes.
Steadfast in their place. They have been very intentional in the community over the years. Can anything good come out of Pine Hills? Yes, it can.
Yes, it can.
And
yes, it can.
I believe that what's going to happen with him also moving to that location is going to be a major impact in the community itself. So
Absolutely.
We are excited. They're planning on having their first services in May. So we are on the lookout for that. I want to be there on that opening celebration if I can.
And I will be. I will be.
Early morning.
Listen, I have two pastors, three pastors in this area that I always call my second home or my second pastors. McCray is definitely one. Definitely St. John over there with Frazier is one. And now that my good friend is over in Tildenville at the Tildenville Baptist Church over there in that area, Malone himself, Cubic, I got three that I can travel to. Praise you, Jesus. I can just travel around and fellowship. So super excited about that. Can't wait. And congratulations, y'all. Listen, they don't wait on getting an amazing song. All things work together. ECC got an amazing song that hit chart. Yes, it did. It hit chart. It hit chart. And now that they are getting ready to move on up to the east side.
in this dispensation that we are living in right now, right? Yeah. You have to have a visionary that has exceptional leadership skills and exceptional personal skills, exceptional love for the people.
Yes.
And has a vision that transcends generations. So he or she, whoever that person is, especially when it comes to the faith-based community, you have to be able to see beyond your four walls.
Absolutely. And not just your four walls. You got to be able to see beyond you as a person.
Number one.
Because one is not about you as a person. It's about the community and being a servant to the community at large.
Well, the only way you're going to be, that's why I say you got to see beyond your four walls, because if you're only seeing behind your four walls, you are only thinking about you. You're not even thinking about the people that are a part of the church that you are in or the ministry that you are in. You have to be able to expand out. Yes. So I see that. And it has been evident over the years, and congratulations to them again and again and again and again and again. Can't say it enough. Congratulations also to Rise Up, Pastor Ray. Congratulations to you all. And I say congratulations because I think that it is impactful to be able to serve the communities that you are in. God doesn't put us in these places where we just go to church and go home.
Right.
We are there because there are things that need to be done. If you are sitting in the community and nothing is being done, then you are basically you need what is that, a defibrillator? You need to put the defibrillator on that church, shock you back. So you can start blood can start pumping, don't going dead. It's all going south. So wake up.
I want to also, since we're talking about our Pine Hills community, we all know that we've had a series of shootings that has taken place in the Pine Hills community, and they have been absolutely devastating. 4 weeks ago, we had a mother that was leaving a barbershop on North Lane and Pine Hills Road who was shot and killed. And she wasn't the person intended for the bullet, but she was shot and killed in a public area. And we just funeralized her on Saturday. And might I add, Minister Fernando Washington, it was his mother. But this young man preached his own mother's homegoing service. And when I tell you the reports I got back about how this man of God preached so well for his mother, that takes strength. That takes strength. And that's God.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
That takes God.
To be able to preach your own mother's funeral. Wow. Yeah. Any parent. Right?
Any parent. Absolutely. My God. I couldn't even speak at my dad's homegoing service. I sung because my daddy loved to hear me sing. And so we put my oldest sister up. My oldest sister was our family spokesperson. We let her do the talking. I myself couldn't do the talking. And I just stood there and I sung and I tried to get it out as good as I could for my daddy, because I knew that was my, that was my daddy. You understand?
Yeah.
I did my best, but to be able to formulate words and encourage not just yourself, but your family and the friends and the supporters that are there for you, man, that's powerful.
It is. It's very powerful. And before we move further on to that subject, because I want to say that because we do have to talk seriously about some of the things that are happening in Pine Hills that we are all experiencing. This rash of crime and violence that has spiked. They are even talking about it. There's a lot of things that are happening in the state of Florida itself. And people, you have to become involved and understand what is happening in your state, in your county, in your district. You need to know, you need to be aware. And if you are not, things are going to happen. And because you didn't make a move or you were not aware of it, you'll be swallowed up in the fray.
Come on, that's good.
We have to get in, we have to find out about some things that we're going to be sharing information with you all like we always do. But we need to have a conversation about this tragedy that just took place, because a lot of lives are affected. And my heart goes out to everyone involved, including the young man who committed these horrible acts. Do we have a mix we can do before we go into the commercial, and then we'll come back? Let's
William
do that.
Cater.
William Cater.
Yo, YBH.
Tell them that we in the last days. Accountable, everybody be held. Please do not follow the ways of the spell or get sent to hell. Gotta get rid of that bad weight. The black high, yeah, they dropping like flies. I drop a 10 for the ones who died. Hey, look, I don't listen to the news. Bible on the dash, got the devil mad. Holy Spirit be the truth. Got a wife now, had the pipe down, wide awake, I don't snooze. I smell a lot of lies in the air, propaganda, I won't fear. Who gon' man up, yeah, that's rare. In the time where they following orders, I'm a sheep on the way to the slaughter. These the end times Christ was talking about, he fulfilled the whole Torah. The nerve of them bringing up horrors. He ain't dead what my God did, he ain't rose from the dead and lived. Tell them that we in the last days. Accountable, everybody be held. Please do not follow the ways of the spell or get sent to hell. Gotta get rid of that bad weight. The black eye, yeah, they dropping like flies. I drop a 10 for the ones who done died. I pray that they fly. Don't make me show you how it turned the way. When you see him walking in the clouds, man, he won't survive that way. They call me the golden child. Ironically, the road paved with gold. Up in the heavens, the devil ain't low. If you know, then you know. Gotta watch out. Led by the spirit when I pop out. We fight not against flesh and blood, or physical or spiritual. Whenever the opt's out, don't opt out. For Christ, I'ma get it on. Whole armor guard, yeah, I put it on. Born in the boogie and my hoodie on. Whole place Babylon, who could he warn? Don't nobody want listen. Fell in love with the wrong mission. And the serpent still hissing. Yeah, the serpent still hissing. Seems like a strong delusion got sent to the eye. Ain't no way you see the truth and still believe those lies. Tell them that we in the last days. Accountable, everybody be held. Please do not follow the ways of the spell or get sent to hell. Gotta get rid of that bad weight. The black eye, yeah, they dropping like flies. I drop a 10 for the ones who done died. I pray that they fly. Don't make me show you how it turned the way. When you see him walking in the clouds, man, he won't survive that way. Hey.
Hey, what's happening? This your boy One, the CHH artist of the hit song Gutter the Glory, and you're hyped out with Lady Drina and Marcus on WOKB, the live drive Culture for Christ broadcast.
Hollywood Live with Tanya Hart. What a weekend here in Los Angeles between all of the winners and nominees of the Image Awards. We congratulate you and, of course, the Screen Actors Guild Awards as well. Everything was going on this week. Congratulations to everybody. So up next, the Oscars. As you may or may not have heard, music superstar Rihanna will perform at the Oscars her nominated song, Lift Me Up, from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It's going to be a great song. I think they've got a good chance of winning that one. Of course, Rihanna has just been on such a roll since her baby announcement and her Super Bowl performance, which outdid everybody, by the way, except for Katy Perry. I think she may have had a few more viewers. So it'll be a good night at the Oscars. By the way, they air March 12th. We will be there on the red carpet and backstage. And for all these stories and more, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tanya Hollywood and at AURN.com.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
The staff and families at All Pro Roofing takes time out to recognize and salute the Florida men and women in uniform, standing tall for our political and economic freedom around the world. Let's always remember them in our thoughts and prayers. Their efforts abroad and our support has kept America strong. That's from All Pro Roofing, your complete roofing contractors with a reputation, quality work at prices you can afford. For an estimate, call 321-216-8050. For All Pro Florida Roofing, where they're on the air because they care.
It's tax time, Central Florida, and Virtual Tax Services gets you the cash you deserve. That's right. Virtual Tax Services gets you the cash you deserve. 877-775-2167. We come to you or we do it virtually. It's Virtual Tax Service. Now accepting clients. 877-775-2167. Tax strategies, credit repair, real estate. Call Virtual Tax Services. 877-775-2167. Virtual Tax Services. We get you the cash you deserve. 877-775-2167. Call now. Centurion Financial Strategies, LLC.
Hey, did you know that chiropractic services is not just for adults, it's for kids? At Fullmore's, we specialize in pediatric chiropractic care. How does chiropractic care help our kids? It can help infants during their early stages of development. It supports the immune system. It improves sleep. Studies also shows that it improves behavior. Call Fullmore Chiropractic today at 407-425-6578. That's 407-425-6578 and schedule your appointment today with Dr. Ron Fullmore Jr. Dr. Ron Fullmore Jr. is located at 1500 West Gore Street, Orlando, Florida. Schedule your visit today.
Dear God, thank you for today, another day on earth. I thank you for the nourishment for my mind, body, and soul, and accept the things that I can't control. Amen. It's amazing. We go crazy. Listen, look, you know what I'm thinking? It was written on my face, but before we eat, man, we gotta give thanks. That's right. We gotta give. Hey, yo, flashback from I thought I lost my faith. Before we eat, we gotta say grace. You know what I'm thinking? It was written on my face. Hey, it was written on my face. Check it. down at the top of a mountain, find another one to climb. Have you ever worked so hard, you pay your car, don't decline? Have you met the right girl, but at the wrong time? And no matter what, you still gotta grind. These are compilations of an up-and-coming student who got better flows, but got room for improvement. Haters gonna come, but they'll never stop your movement. This is confirmation to keep doing what you're doing. And whoever you are, no matter what, you a star. Listen, ain't into astrology, but my stars keep aligning. Ain't the Neptunes, but the boy keep grinding. Year after year, they still put the time in. Look, just last year, I was running out of faith, but not for we eat. You know, we gotta say things. You know what's written on my face. You know what I'm thinking is written on my face. And before we eat, man, we gotta get things. Just a while back, I was running out of faith. Gotta say things. Gotta say things.
Inspiration 1680, 100.7 FM. You are tuned in to Culture for Christ. I'm your girl, Lady Drina. We got Sir Marcus here. If you are driving right now, drive carefully, drive safely, drive to arrive alive. All right.
Why
Are
is
you there,
that,
Mark?
Drina?
Say it again.
I am here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can. I hear you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right, good. I said, why are you telling them to drive safe, drive alive? Because we want to what?
Because we want to talk to you and not about
We
you.
want to talk with you and not about you.
Yeah, because the thing is, this traffic in Florida is something else. Okay. And they used to have some other sayings about Florida, but like I said before,
Something else.
we're gonna speak positive even over Florida, over our communities, over everything.
That's right.
We're gonna send our positive vibes out of here instead of anything that we've heard in tradition. Absolutely. So listen,
That's
guys.
right. Tradition. That's a good way to put it, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. But listen, we're talking about all of the horrific shootings that just recently took place in our Pine Hills community. 5 people shot, 3 people died by the hands of a 19-year-old. Senselessly, yeah. A 19-year-old. A 19-year-old. One in which who passed away was a beautiful 9-year-old little girl who was doing what a little girl at 9 years old do when they're home in their house. Just playing around in the safety of her own home.
Yeah. Tragic.
Very tragic.
This 19-year-old Melvin Keith Melvin Moses, he went on a shooting rampage. I'm not exactly sure, and I think the detectives, the authorities are still trying to find out exactly what caused this, because there really is no motive for what he did.
I don't think that there is one. I know the first shooting that he did, he knew that young lady. He was actually, according to what we've heard, they were riding together.
Right, I heard that. I heard something about that. What was the story on
together? So apparently, he was in the back seat. The female was in the front seat, and another person
passenger side, right?
Not exactly sure about that, so I can't say, because I don't really know that part. But I know that he was in the back seat of the car, and there were 2 people in the front seat, and he shot that young lady from the back seat, point blank.
She died too.
That is the first person who died at 11 o'clock.
And what happened to the driver of that car?
That I don't know. There's no injuries reported to that to anybody other than the young lady.
Okay. And then it went from there. Like
then
after he shot her,
hours after. Yes. No. Apparently he stayed in that community.
Does he live? He lives in Pine Hills, though.
Not in the portion of where this happened.
Okay.
Because the portion of where this happened was in I never say it right.
Hiawassee Hills.
Hialeah is the street. And,
okay.
So in that area, no, he did not live in that area. So that's still in question.
So, and the thing about it is that all of these killings were completely random. He knew
it was random.
After the shooting of the first young lady, everyone else was
random.
So the little 9-year-old girl, today would be the first day back to school, and the children that she went to school with have to go through this grieving process, get counselors. I'm sure she had little friends in the neighborhood that she played with. She has her little cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents. It's just tragic all the way around. I did a little bit of digging on this, and the reason that I said my heart goes out to everyone in a prayerful situation is because the 19-year-old accused of fatally shooting the 3 people, including the television journalist and our baby girl, the 9-year-old baby girl, which we don't know her name at this time. He is, according to reports by Sheriff Mina, he is a known gang member who definitely has a lengthy rap sheet that included arrest on grand theft, domestic violence charges. All of those things are in his criminal background. So Melvin Moses is his name. He was taken into custody Wednesday evening following that shooting rampage that he went on in Pine Hills. And he was armed with a Glock 40. So he shot the young lady at 11 a.m., then returned to the scene hours later, opened fire on the TV reporter and the photojournalist before going into a home, shooting the woman and her 9-year-old daughter. So we got the first woman that died, the TV reporter that died, and the 9-year-old child that died. The girl's mother and the photojournalist are still in the hospital. And as last reports I heard, they are in critical condition.
All right. So the cameraman that was shot, he's in stable condition at this time, and he will make a full recovery. The bullet did not hit any vital organs for him. That's information that I did receive.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is making a full recovery. We don't have as much information on the mother who was shot, which her name is Brandy. The mother name is Brandy Major. Brandy Major. And I just sent you information on the 9-year-old herself, and her picture and name has been released. And it's very heartbreaking to, see a 9-year-old slain the way this took place, brutally.
Gun violence.
So brutally.
This young man has a lengthy criminal history that dates back to age 14. His rap sheet started at the age of 14 in 2018, and it stretches all the way through 2022. And that came from the Florida Department. This information is according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So the most serious of his charges up until this point include grand theft, battery, domestic violence, and armed robbery. So if he's done armed robbery before the age of 19, somebody somewhere, the mama, the dad, there's no community where this young man came from, because he basically was out living on his own.
Yeah.
All of that to do all of that, because in 2018 he was arrested on grand theft of a motor vehicle. That charge was amended to a misdemeanor trespassing, and that's the issue right there.
Yeah.
The charges were downgraded in the Orange County court. And what happens, these young people, they get into trouble and they get slapped on the wrist and they go back out and they say, well, they ain't gonna do nothing to me. So they keep doing and committing these crimes, and they get the crimes become more and more violent because nothing is being done. Then if something is done, then the community has an uproar or an outrage that says, why y'all do him like that? He ain't number 14 years old. But if he comes into your house at 14 and puts a gun to your face and pulls the trigger, maybe the sentiments will change.
Come on.
The sentiments will change. He pleaded no contest and was sentenced to a year of community control, which is essentially house arrest.
Yeah.
So he got for stealing, for grand theft auto. The only thing he was done, the only punishment that he received was to stay in the house. There was no rehabilitation. There was no community service. There was no mentoring programs that he was ordered to participate in. Nothing. The only thing that they did was put him in house arrest. So what does that do? What does the house look like? Who is this kid's mother and father?
Now that's the question right there. Let's pause.
What school did he go to?
What
who
school
taught
did he
him?
go to?
Who were the teachers that knew him?
Who raised him?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it right there.
In the same month that he did the car arrest, that same month he was arrested and charged with domestic violence and battery. Touch or strike. So he hit people. He pleaded no contest and then was sentenced to a concurrent year of community control. So 2 years on house arrest. I mean, it gets better. It gets better.
Yeah.
In 2015, he was arrested on a burglary charge. He pleaded not guilty, and the case was dismissed.
Yes. Dismissed.
So we got the ball dropping everywhere from inception to this young man was failed, and the failure that he was given and dealt with caused the death of other people. I wonder if this young man was high on any type of narcotics.
And I just to me, I don't feel like there's no way he wasn't on something.
It just seems like he was.
It just seems so unreal. Like you had to be on something.
Nothing else makes sense.
You had to be on something, or you're schizophrenic.
Right.
Mental condition, or you were on something. That's the only two things I can think of. You were on something, or you have a serious mental condition. Just to go back to the shooting that occurred at 11 a.m. that morning to the young lady he knew. I think her name was Natasha
Augustine.
Yes. So you knew this young lady, and it states that you shot her at point blank range.
Wow.
From the back seat.
Wow.
Point blank range. 19.
Wow. 19. And she was 38.
They at first thought she was 20, but she was 38.
Wow.
At 19, though.
At 19. And here's leading up to these things. He was arrested in 2018. He was charged with robbery with a weapon that was amended in court to attempted robbery with a firearm. He pled not guilty. He was sentenced again to another house arrest. 3 years of house arrest. I mean, when was the judge? Who is the judge? The attorney? Like, there are so many failures here. The mother and father, who is he? Who is this mother? Right? Were these people? What were the circumstances that this young man was? To me, if if you don't take care of your children, you are abusing them. It's child abuse. For the streets to raise your children is child abuse. It's not it may not be considered the physical abuse. I remember when I was growing up, if kids didn't go to school, they came after the parents. After the kids were locked up in truant, they used to call it truants. And you would have a truancy officer that would drive around and pick up kids that they would see on the streets. It was basically like a community police officer. They call it a truant officer.
A truant officer. They still have truancy and truancy officers. They still have them.
They need to be more active, because that young man the ball was dropped. He was failed. His home failed him. His community failed him. His school failed him. And maybe someone in the school saw these things and tried to reach out. I don't know.
I want to say this. I remember my son got into a incident, and it was serious but minor. The way they handled my son's situation, knowing who his parents was, knowing who I was, knowing who this kid was, and even teachers and people spoke out on my son's behalf. They gave him the worst outcome of the situation.
Yeah, I remember
the absolute worst outcome of the situation. And it makes me think, you got a young man who's never been in trouble before, never had any referrals or incidents, but you give him the worst.
It's his skin tone.
But then the kids that deserve that treatment get a slap on the wrist and get sent.
I don't get it. I don't
and
get
get
it.
sent right back out to do it
it.
again.
Mm-hmm.
To do it again.
Yep.
And do it again. And do it again.
And do it again. Yep.
And again.
And that's exactly what this young man did, because in 2021, it gets worse, Drina. In 2021, he was arrested on a violation of his imposed conditions, right? And he was charged with possessing less than 20 grams of marijuana, right? And that was dropped down to, that was downgraded. No, that's a misdemeanor, but the case was dropped. He was recently arrested last April by the Atlanta police on a charge of failure to appear in court.
Wow.
The state attorney, they're looking at all of these convictions. Well, why was he on the street? You know, This is what the state attorney is asking. Like, why was he on the street? They asked her these questions, and the state attorney said that Florida law prohibits her from discussing the details of any juvenile disposition. He should have been kept in juvenile hall and attempted, if they didn't, they may have attempted to put this young man through programs. But if this young man is affiliated with any types of gangs, the pressure, because they said he is a known gang member, that means that the pressure on him to continue to do the wrong thing had to be extremely great. And he may have considered them more so
and it's a learned behavior and culture. When you have been inducted in such things, that's for lack of better words or terms to say, it's a brainwashing.
Yes.
You become involved in things like that. It's a brainwashing situation. I have a brother who got involved in gangs and got involved in some serious things. And since the age of 16 years old, he has been in and out of jail to prison since 16, and he is in his late 40s now. A career criminal. And he wasn't raised that way. We were all raised in the same home. He wasn't raised that way. But he started to be around the wrong people. He ran away. He to go and do this and do that. And he chose a path and he chose a life for himself.
Yeah. You know, let me go back because I did, according to this arrest affidavit, the lady Augustine, she was actually hanging out with a friend.
Keep talking for a moment.
Okay. All right. Miss Augustine was hanging out with a friend in her car when the driver saw the suspect, Mr. Moses, walking down the street. That driver actually told deputies that the suspect seemed like he was down and they offered him a ride. So when they gave him a ride, he got into the back of the car. He was sitting behind Miss Augustine. And about 30 seconds later, the driver heard a loud bang and saw Augustine bleeding. According to the arrest warrant, the driver said that he pulled over and he called the police, and young Mr. Moses, he ran from the scene. So the driver said that he had not heard any arguments between the suspect and the victim and that they did not know each other. So, but Sheriff Mina previously said that Moses was an acquaintance of that lady, that he did know her. So when Moses returned to the scene about 4 hours later, around 4 p.m., so from 11 that morning until 4, he then shot the Spectrum News reporter Dylan Lyons and photojournalist Jesse Walden, who were in they were near a vehicle. Sheriff Mina said that Lyons was killed and Walden was hospitalized in critical condition. That was on Wednesday. So then Moses walked into a home in the area. From that scene where he committed that crime, he walked to a home that was in the area, and then he shot the mother and the daughter inside their house. Now, the question is, from the point where he shot Augustine, the police did not have a perimeter set up. And there was a discussion about this as to why that whole scenario or area was not blocked off at 11 a.m. in the morning. These things did not take place at night. These things took place in the day. So that means that a tragic shooting that occurs like that, normally the police are on scene for hours at a time. But at this particular moment, because of the way that shooting happened that day, the police should have been there along with the police on scene. No one was on scene. So this young man had an opportunity to come back. He didn't see the police on site. He walks up to the news people and shoots them.
Now, the information that I just sent you, go to it. So apparently the news van wasn't it didn't have labels as if it was a news
van. It was unmarked.
It was an unmarked van, and officers believe that he thought these were officers or law enforcement.
He thought they were law enforcement officers.
So basically, you was gonna kill officers too, though.
Yeah. I'm still, even this information regarding, because Sheriff Mina said that he did know the young lady, but the man who was driving the car said that they didn't know.
They did not know him. And so I think it was wrong. I think the information that was given to Mina was the wrong information. So he was relaying information that he had received. So the proper investigation that should have been done prior to a press conference, I think there was a drop in the ball of that. Okay. And they exposed a negative thing, because I don't have another way to say it. It exposed something negative to the fact that you guys really didn't do a good proper.
The police officers dropped the ball.
You dropped the ball. You didn't do a good investigation on this.
Yeah.
You just figure all black people know each other. They were in the same car.
And even in that, I don't know, something's got to come out about what was going on inside that car too, because
something had to go on now. It's something happening. But however, we should have had the right information for that person. All of the information needed should have been available to the chief for that press conference. And whoever dropped the ball and did not give him the proper information should be reprimanded.
Yeah, they're not getting anywhere with him in this investigation. He's tight-lipped. He's not saying anything.
No.
So this young man has been coached. He's not new to this.
Yeah. And then think about it. If he's have gang affiliations, I know for a fact, you're sworn to certain secrecies.
Oh,
you're sworn to do things. I remember my brother was sworn to harm somebody. They jumped him in, and you know what a jump in is, right? Where everybody beat you up.
Absolutely. You get beat
my
up
brother
by 10,
literally
20
got
people.
beat up by like 15 people to join a gang. Get jumped into a gang. And then after you're jumped into this gang, you have to do whatever they tell you to do to show your loyalty to this gang. You do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you are sworn to never talk about that again.
Never talk about it.
Never talk about it again.
Not close. Yeah.
So it's literally a brainwashing situation here when it comes down to, especially with young people who want a sense of family.
That's what this young man wanted.
Yeah, they want a sense of family.
He needed
and so they go to organizations and places thinking this is the family I needed.
Which brings me to this point. The church is so important in the community. We have to find the ways to make these approaches to these people right. We have to approach the scene right. We have to do things right. Not saying that we're going to be able to save everybody, but we have to make our presence known. We have to make our presence known, because this could have been prevented. This could have been helped. This young man could have received the right guidance at some point. And of course, we're going to continue to have this type of crime. These type of things are going to continue to cycle in and cycle out, until we get a grip on it. I don't understand why so much of our community cannot get a handle on this, because we have enough successful people to be able to pour back into our community.
So listen, we gotta literally get out of this. This conversation is so deep that I ain't even paying attention to what time it is. It's way deep and it's serious. And we're going to continue this on tomorrow and speak on our community. Pine Hills is our community. It is our community, and we have to do something to help our community. Listen, we got the Tight Mike Show. I mean, he's sitting here looking at me like, Herb, can get off the radio. You understand? I'm just playing. He ain't doing that for real. That's my buddy, my friend. The Tight Mike Show is coming up in just a moment, right here on Inspiration 1680, 100.7 FM.
Ready for more. I'm ready for new. Like a straight out the stove.